So last week when we were talking, we discussed that Hanuman is the one who will be flying the ocean, above the ocean and going to the other shores. So now Hanuman has started to go. So this few chapters will talk about Hanuman's determination and how strong mentally is Hanuman. Hanuman is also put through some tests during the flight. So he starts to fly. He takes off, and when he takes off, it is said in Valmiki Ramayana that he grew in his physical appearance. He grew so big, so huge in his appearance, and he started to fly. So whether he has powers to grow in size or not, that I really do not know. It can be looked at in different ways. One is he grew in terms of his determination. Somebody has to be so determined to be able to fly over the ocean, right? So it could be like his mental, they were talking about his mental status, that he's so determined and he's tall in his determination. Or it could be like he also has the powers to grow in physical personality also. We don't know that. So he's grown bigger. And when he takes off, when he starts to fly, he has to do it with a lot of push, right? If you have to jump, what will you do? You'll put pressure on the ground and then you'll jump up. So he's not just jumping like 1 or 2 feet. He is jumping across the ocean. If he has to jump across the ocean, he has put so much of power, energy on the earth that earth started to tremble. It felt as if it was an earthquake that they were experiencing. All the animals were so frightened. They were like, what is happening? What is happening all of a sudden in this? Because animals will get a hint, or they get a sense of things like there is an earthquake going to happen and there's other thing. They have that capability to understand the nature very well, better than human beings. So even those animals were startled because there was no sign of any earthquake before that, and all of a sudden earth has started trembling. And the mountains, there were so many mountains in that area, right? All those mountains, they started to, the huge stones and rocks started to fall down. So that was how much power Hanuman had. Hanuman is so powerful that he can make the entire mountain shriek, like tremble, shiver. He can pass that amount of energy. He has that amount of energy. And then with one flight, he starts to get over the ocean. And when he starts to get over the ocean, his shadow falls on the ocean, right? It is looking like a beautiful ship passing or sailing on the ocean. That is how it is looking. It is seen. And while he is in the flight, there is a mountain called Mainaka. So after he travels some few yojanas, Mainaka, who is in the bottom of the ocean, Mainaka raises up so that Hanuman can take rest on Mainaka for some time. So Mainaka raises up and invites Hanuman to take rest on her.
In another story I read, it said the mountain rises up to like distract him or do bad to him.
No, it's not that. Hanuman thinks that it is trying to distract him. Hanuman doesn't know that Mainaka was trying to help him. But Mainaka explains to him that no, I'm not here to distract you, I'm not here to disturb you. I just want to give you a place to rest for a few minutes so that you can gain your energy back and continue your travel. He rests on her and then he takes away again. On the way, there is a demon called Surasa, and what Surasa does is,
can't she kind of grab her prey by its shadow?
That is Simhika. We will talk about Simhika again. Okay. This is called Surasa. Surasa is wife of the king of Nagas. So that lady, she is asked by the gods and others to put a test to Hanuman. What is the test? Test is he has to enter her mouth and come back, or enter her mouth and she has to eat him. That is the test, and Hanuman has to face this test. They are testing him because they want to see his capabilities, and because the thing that he has, his task is so complicated, right? They want to prepare him mentally for that kind of a task. So Surasa takes a form of a demon, and she's looking ugly, she's looking ferocious and all that. And now Surasa comes and obstructs Hanuman. She says, you cannot move further beyond me without entering my mouth. That is what she says. Hanuman also cannot pass her because she had that power. She had that power to obstruct Hanuman. She got that power because of gods and others who gave her this task. So what Hanuman does, he cannot use his power, he cannot wage a war with her at that moment because he needs to go to, his job is to go to Lanka and find out whether Sita is there or not. He cannot waste his entire time in fighting this lady. So what he does is, he increases his physical body to an enormous size. And as he keeps growing, Surasa also keeps growing, and her mouth has also becomes so wide. It becomes so wide, and she's expecting Hanuman to enter her mouth. And immediately what Hanuman does is, Hanuman becomes so tiny, like this. He enters his mouth and comes back immediately. She doesn't even realize that this guy went in and come back, because he did that transformation in a fraction of a second. He became so big, and in like in less than a second he shrunk so little. He goes inside and comes out. And then Surasa really appreciates his intellectual capabilities, his thinking power, and she blesses him and lets him go. And then he's going, and he encounters another Rakshasi called Simhika. Simhika has a power. What she does is, she whatever shadow goes above her, she has the power to attract the shadow. She doesn't have to attract the being, the actual human being, or human beings generally don't fly. Whatever is flying, she doesn't have to even go and grab that. She can just attract the shadow. So she does that to Hanuman. And this entire episode, right, the Hanuman is then, at that point of time, Hanuman is flying. Hanuman is describing how the waves are, how the animals, or how those fishes or any other beings that are there in the ocean, right? How are they? All those things he keeps explaining, he keeps telling us. And he encounters Simhika, and Simhika, he finds a sudden pull. He's flying, there is no wind in any other direction, but still he finds a huge pull towards this demon. And then what he does is, and then he sees Simhika. He understands that it is Simhika who is doing this. Then in all these points, at all these points in time, he doesn't have time to sit and wage a war with all these people, because he's running against time. There is a lot of things, there are a lot of things that he needs to do. And if you remember, Sugriva gave them 1 month time, and they passed that 1 month time long back. They're already late in their project. So he doesn't want to take the straight route of waging a war with them, properly putting up with them and all that. So what he does is, he again becomes so tiny, and he enters Simhika, and once he goes out, he starts scratching her from inside, killing her from inside. He enters the body, then he kills Simhika from inside, and then emerges out. And all those beings that are flying above the ocean, they're very happy that this demon is finally killed, and they can freely fly over the ocean. So that is his encounter with Simhika. So after all these encounters, all the gods and everybody, they praise and they appreciate Hanuman. Now he is fit to take over the task of searching Sita.